We're here at PDF 2008, a retrospective now. We're doing a little video on 2004 through 2008.
Yep.
4 big years.
4 big years.
You've been following this for a while.
Yes.
What's happened that you thought would happen?
I've been a blogger for 8 years. So.
Yeah, I know, and don't we all know that?
Yeah.
And what's happened that you kind of thought would happen? What's surprised you? What's been good, bad, indifferent?
Well, the campaigns certainly are understanding that the media is changing from a professional camera like the one you have to one where you can use a cell phone to talk to thousands of people, or you can use blogs to talk to millions of people now. And that a lot of people are moving their viewing behavior from TV and on to online. Mm-hmm. Certainly, even the professional media now are taking advantage of that, right? CNN has blogs. Every time I watch CNN, it's like, and while I was on commercial break, I'm writing my blog over here, you know, and talking.
TV is a promotion for your blog.
You know, yeah, you know, and yeah, it's real interesting how that's happened. I was on John Edwards' plane when he announced that he was running for president, and I certainly saw how he took a lot of feedback inputs from all sorts of different bloggers. So right after he spoke, he was able to watch the reaction, and then at the next speech, he was able to change his speech based on that input. Mm-hmm. Now, he still didn't win, but you know, he was against Tiger Woods. So.
Yeah, right. Rocco.
You know, Rocco had a great day, but not great enough. You know.
That's good. So, what do you think's missing? What would you like to see by 2012?
Well, I think we're still waiting for the candidate that really does it and believes in it after the election is over, right? Even Edwards, right? His wife still is online. We still can talk with her in some of the form, but we don't see John anywhere, right? Online. He disappeared. So it was like, oh, okay, that Twitter account, that Facebook account, that was his staff. It wasn't him. And we're still looking for that one guy who really understands that he can use these tools to communicate in a new way and do it when the staff ain't around.
Right. So what about the conversation? Also, our conversation gets closed down.
Yes.
When Edwards turns off his site, I wonder how many millions of hours of work had gone into that.
Oh, a lot. I mean, you know, certainly that was what he did for what, 10 months, 12 months.
Yeah, but our conversations too.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Any other thoughts? What would you, if you were the king? It's good to be king, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I want to see policy that protects it or helps encourage innovation to stay here in the United States. I'm seeing a lot of things that we're doing that's anti-innovation here. For instance, our immigration policies are chasing away PhD candidates and making them go back home, which means now all of a sudden a $150,000 a year job is over in Israel or over in China or over in India or over in Europe that it could be here in the United States. Our education system is still not measuring up. We're not graduating enough science and math majors. And certainly we're seeing China and India coming on very strong there. And those, in other words, we're seeing our R&D jobs threatened. And it's now is the time to solve that. Otherwise, we're going to offshore our really best paid jobs, which cause all sorts of other jobs that happen in society. So if I'm going to DC tomorrow, and if there's one agenda point I have, it's that, which has to do with a whole lot of things, right? Taxation, if you tax companies too much, they're going to go offshore. Education, if you don't educate your people and you don't raise great scientists and engineers and people who are going to build the products and do the research and do the science, those companies are going to go offshore, you know. And then policies like stem cell research. You chase off, you make it too hard to do business here. That research is going to be done. Right. It's just going to be done in some place that has looser laws, right?
So you're saying basically we need systems design, and the only experts are out here. It's like we the media, you know. And how do we? That's the question, isn't it?
If there's one thing I would hope the next president has an office of Chief Technical and Science Officer. Somebody who really is going to pitch and protect anything that has to do with science and technology and really understand it. I mean, we just had a little scuffle on stage here about whether it's important for the president to use a computer or not. Okay, maybe it's not important for him to use a computer, but he better have somebody that he can talk with in a moment's notice to understand science and technology issues and be up to date and have the latest stuff right there.
That's great. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.